What is going on with the person opposite you towards you? What is blocking him from reaching out to you if there is contact? Why is the contact distant? Is it perhaps strange? I encounter this every day in personal readings. And now I would like to address this topic collectively. What is happening with the person opposite you? Why it feels strangely odd to me in a way you might not know him. And do you even want clarity on why this is so? What might be blocking him in contact with you in personal meetings? Or what is going on? Why does he write differently? Or speak differently? And now let's take a look. And a very, very warm and heartfelt hello and welcome here on my channel. And thank you for being here, dear ones. And you know, these are readings for the collective. It may not resonate with everyone. And it is also the case, tips and advice, please, at your own responsibility. So I would also like to add that it is also stated in the channel info, and it is such that tips and suggestions, assistance, each person decides for themselves whether to accept this advice or not. Each for their own situation. We are here in the collective. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your trust, for your heartfelt, lovely comments, and also the feedback, which sometimes already comes true. I read it again yesterday. Congratulations. I am so happy for you. And you know who I am addressing now, who I mean. My warmest congratulations. It was about a win. And it's so nice. I have already brought it a few times last time. I came along. And it's just truly wonderful, even if there was a personal meeting between you or the ex got back in touch. That was also mentioned in a comment. So really super, super nice. And I find it wonderful. So, and collectively, as I said, person cards are gender neutral, and the collective life, as mentioned, may not apply to everyone. And now I send you lots of wonderful, positive energy. I send you lots of light and love and believe. I have truly taken each and every one of you to heart. We are the big family here in the community. Thank you for being here. So let's take a look at your counterpart now. I am now focusing on the question. The topic, why is he so peculiar in communication? Blocked. Distant. Actually, we already have two that jumped out. But now I would like something for explanation. Let's take a look at your counterpart now. The Seven of Swords, yes. So, 7. The swords have always been a sign that something went wrong. Your counterpart is trying to discreetly get out of the affair. He is taking flight. This is your counterpart taking flight. And there is a secret, and there is also someone being insincere. Insincere A with themselves, and B, not also insincere towards you. Here is also someone who beats around the bush. Maybe you know that too. Or you notice it too. Someone is trying to beat around the bush, doesn't go into detail on some things, or circles around some answers or paraphrases something, and tries to distract as well. To distract. And as I said, there's a bit of this. Yes, something is going on back there. So something is entanglement, chains of events that he doesn't want to openly lay out. So, but then we also have the sun. The sun also shows what's on the way with the counterpart. So there's also something that's still a bit blocked, this entanglement and also the confidence. But your counterpart is actually like, he thinks now, okay, everything is fine now, but he's not doing well. So if you now have the feeling that your counterpart is doing well, everything is super great, no, Definitely not. So I say, if we look at it this way, he backed the wrong horse. Trusted himself and this path he's taken now. It doesn't fit. It definitely doesn't fit. And he doesn't really know how to get out of it all. Because in the end, he's actually tired and confused. You have this exuberance right now with your counterpart. And this vitality is missing in the counterpart when we take the connection here but the point was that the path again is what he also lacks. This confused, this pampering with her mutual pampering. So as I said currently, so my God, so he's really not doing well. So I would say appearances are deceiving. However, I think that one or the other, or actually rather all of you, sense with your counterpart that something doesn't fit and that it's not as harmonious as it might seem outwardly. So let's take a look. If we can get more clarification here. Yes, my writing counterpart. We already have a very big issue here. And the big issue where your counterpart is confused is love. It's love in the thoughts. What he actually did wrong here, that he sided with the wrong side. We have the family issue here. Oh, I have one too many, doesn't matter. We have the family issue here, and there's also the withdrawal out of fear. Your counterpart is afraid. Afraid to make a decision, afraid to choose love, and has fled from you. And I also say, if it might be about an ex-partner of yours, no, your counterpart is not so sure. And the decision he made is definitely not certain in your direction. Your counterpart, the withdrawal from you. Your counterpart is afraid of feelings. Why your counterpart is not currently reaching out to you or is distant with dishonesty. Dishonesty, a few things that are being concealed, like a secret too. Making a secret out of various things, keeping it on the surface. That's it. Because he is afraid of love. If he is not reaching out to you right now, or if he is not having this clear, clarifying conversation with you, or in general maybe a personal meeting, or you notice during the personal meeting that it's somehow strangely distant, then it definitely has the background that your counterpart is afraid of allowing feelings. For some, as mentioned, there is deep regret visible here for why he distanced himself from you, because someone else was either at the center or not at the center, but stood in between. The matter is actually more or less resolved. For some, not for everyone. I just want to add, it might be that your counterpart was looking for a bit of a start with another woman or another man, which, however, has nothing to do with love. It's just like air. This person batted their eyes at him like flutter, flutter. I see this as very manipulative. This person is very manipulative towards your counterpart, but he doesn't realize it or hasn't realized it yet. But he will definitely wake up to it. And that's also the guilty conscience, why your counterpart has now withdrawn from you. Your counterpart is afraid of the feelings because you touched his heart more deeply, more strongly than he ever thought possible. And maybe now the separation, that you might have been in a relationship before. And maybe he ended the relationship, but now he's at the point where he realizes, no, I'm not doing well at all. In the past, it might have been like, all right, relationship ended, all good, it's fine. But with you, it's different. It basically makes you sick. And if he says now that he's happy, he definitely isn't. He is not happy. Because the longing for you is shown here again and again. Again and again, the love, he can't get you out of his thoughts. The feelings of happiness are definitely with you because he can have abundance with you. The abundance with the other person is definitely no. And your counterpart feels that. He is currently actually overloaded with everything and everyone. But that's why he doesn't contact you. Because every contact with you touches his heart very intensely. And that's the reason. He is afraid of his feelings, afraid of love. And then we have again the ego, pride, the area where he says, I can't allow that. I have now separated myself here. And now suddenly I'm crawling back like a little dog. And that's his issue or her issue. But with this reading, I tell you honestly, here is the strength of love, the love and this sudden awakening of your counterpart out of fear, out of the fear of being rejected by you as well. Because when your counterpart approaches you, you will feel love. Then he will also be humble. So humble in the sense, not this perhaps somewhat arrogant and proud or something like that. No, but rather somewhat quieter. Humble, quieter, and he will reveal his love to you or will definitely show it to you. Truly show it. And it can be very sudden and spontaneous, absolutely surprising. It's like a surprise effect for you, a moment of surprise. But there is also what still blocks your counterpart, this fear of having been rejected by you. Because your counterpart has a bigger, worse conscience than you might imagine. But the love for you is very intense. It is very pronounced, very intense. And that is, as I said, why he retreats. Because he is actually also afraid. For some, there's also a bit of that involved again. Okay. Yes, financially. Maybe he told you something different about how his financial situation looks. And we also have that topic, but it is shown here only very vaguely. That's why I don't want to go into it any further. My main topic is, really, you are so deep in his heart and where he is afraid to allow that, because he knows with you he can completely let go. With you have completely touched his heart, and if he has more contact or reconnects with you, he opens his heart completely to you because you are in his heart. As I said, other people, I also say there's nothing decisive there where I would say, okay, no, it's more like the disappointment. No, there. And we also have the separation. So we have the whole package, actually. Let's see what else we get there. Yes, definitely, the whole thing will also be ended. And it's actually a burden, a torment for him, but he will also free himself from that. And believe me, if, as I said, if your counterpart is currently with another woman, with another man, this connection, the contact, which I don't see as a permanent life partnership, this burden, I see that it is actually a complete burden, a torment for him as well. Because where he has maneuvered himself into right now, he definitely doesn't feel comfortable. A torment, a burden, and he is resolving it. This detachment from the old, also from old entanglements and this confusion. So your counterpart is also doing worse mentally, worse than you actually think. So, as I said, he might present himself outwardly, trying to be an entertainer, an actor, but he is not, definitely not. And in the end, you feel it, you know it. You definitely know it. And yes, if we now also consider the tower is indeed his absolute conflict. And there is also a change to be seen. Your counterpart will come to redemption, come to awakening. And it is the fears, this rigidity, in which he is still currently stuck. And there, he will definitely experience an unpleasant surprise with this person. And there will be massive conflicts as well. But from this chaos in which your counterpart currently finds themselves, they will definitely come out of this chaos. And if we take another look now, if I now go in your direction, we had this side with her, so that a current situation must, not necessarily to be with her now, but in his situation where he is currently located. So, and then we have you. You are the world to him. Your counterpart knows that with you, he can come into ease. And he knows and sees it that way too. Because he wants to start the journey in your direction, because you are a unit. You and him, you and your counterpart. Yes, he is still distracted and in delay. And maybe he has also isolated himself a bit, but he knows that you are the right relationship for him, that he feels at home with you, has arrived, and he knows that that's what is bubbling inside your counterpart. As I said, this is a very big topic. So, and yes, well, this playfulness between you both is also something beautiful. What does playful mean? Maybe a little? I don't like to express it this way, but it is fate. But now is definitely the right time for both of you because these are karmic connections. Currently, there is still the karmic entanglement between the two of you. And these are your issues that you also need to resolve for yourself. You need to stand up for yourself. Be confident. And please break free from emotional dependency. Very, very important. In your self-love, which is also a very big topic because I also see a bit of inattention in you. But here, the time is now ripe for change, a complete turnaround is happening, and it's no coincidence. Everything is meant to be this way so that you can be united. Because the unresolved problems will definitely be overcome. And your counterpart will also come into harmony with themselves, just as you will come into harmony with yourself and not put pressure on yourself. And also free yourself from the fears of having done something wrong, for example. Please let it go. You haven't done anything wrong. And if we now see what we have with the additional cards from the major arcana, it is really the major arcana, such a very, very powerful, strong energy. So, and now we have the major arcana again. So it is really incredible. It has a very significant meaning. So many cards from the major arcana. And now we also have the Hierophant with us. And that means to trust. Please also trust yourself. And your counterpart will also come to trust and also to confidence. It will also be able to align with themselves again. And this insight to this clarity, this introspection, and this view as well, this confidence in your direction, because you truly are their world. And yes, and it might just be this loneliness that your counterpart still has, yes. But as I said, it will. Between the two of you, trust will be restored because your counterpart is grasping trust in love. And no matter what it is with your counterpart, whether it has to do with love, injury, disappointment, or perhaps never having truly loved, and this transformation, this change for themselves, which is also important because they may have been deceiving themselves all these years. And all of it was always just so superficial and also got hurt. So, and then we have the Queen of Coins. Queen of Coins. There it will also be, you might be at the point where you can no longer rely on your counterpart, where you can no longer trust because you say to yourself that you have completely lost trust. And you see a person whom you actually don't know at all. And that's such a change where you say, he is somehow so foreign to me, or she is somehow so foreign to me. You can no longer trust where you used to completely trust the person. And also the reliability. You could always rely on him or her, and now it's not at all. But it is also shown that it will return to sensuality between the two of you, to loyalty, the loyalty of this togetherness, and above all, this care and this togetherness, this feeling of being secure, that your counterpart is there for you just as much. Just as you have always been there for him, and your counterpart knows that. And that is also what I mentioned earlier, that he actually shows himself to be so small in front of you, so very sensitive. Now, also sensitive and not taking this grandeur and this position of power now, but simply this. He really wants to give everything back to you here because he appreciates you and wants to show you that as well. And this respect towards you, and indeed the remorse. My dear ones, I wish you all the very best and all the love from the bottom of my heart. I hold you tightly, embraced, my dear ones. Goodbye.